Breaking news, everyone. Emergency Pulsechain live stream. Emergency. They're telling me emergency. Yes, we're doing emergency. We don't get to do this very often. I try not to do emergencies unless it is a true, revolutionary, groundbreaking, amazing thing to talk about and discuss that you may be interested in hearing more about. And that's Mrprove. Without further ado, welcome back to the show. Second time today, Fast Abdoul. He is back. He's back.
Hey, again, Max.
Are you proven? Are you proven right now?
I'm post-proved. We were pre-proved before. Now we're post-proved. And
it's been about 4 hours.
Things to talk about here.
Yes, I'm very excited. I think earlier today, everyone was trying to guess what's it going to be. What's it going to be? There were some privacy guesses. I don't know. Maybe some people got closer or less closer. All that. Apparently, Richard wants to know. He's like, yeah, let me know who got the first closest and all that. So we're his assistants now for virtual assistants for determining the winners. But contest won't stop. There's a contest for or something or another for the logo for this thing as well.
Thank you, Mrprove logo. I submitted an application. I think mine is by far the best. Nobody's yet to comment on it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to take the prize. The rest of you can quit.
Quit while you're not ahead. There you go. What are we talking about? If you've been living under the rock the last 30 hours, there was a tweet about details about a new project. And now everyone gets to speculate. And now there's new project details in the form of a reply post, not even his own post. It's just a reply post to this post with more details to come with the website, I think was mentioned on here as well. But I think when I read, I'll get your reaction as well, but I'll just say, I'm not going to read this to everything. I'll go over some things that are interesting for it. But I first read this, the Mrprove token. The Mrprove token only becomes more rare. It never inflates. It only burns. Mrprove automatically bought and burn every time. So we got the buy and burn. We got private prover tech. The token is called Mrprove. Don't know what the ticker will be.
I feel compelled to mention this token does not exist yet. 100%.
Yes,
Richard has not launched a token. All the Mrproves you guys are buying on Pulsechain are fake ones. And if you understand that they're on pump tires, maybe that's fine. But just understand Richard Hart did not launch those tokens.
Yeah, nothing has been launched by Richard or the Pulsechain team dev. So if you're buying something that is that, it is not this. It may be something else. You may be fine with it, but that's play all your games. Know what you're doing.
Eyes open. That's all. Pump tire stuff, burn liquidity. Like if everybody understands, it's great. But I don't like any sort of deception around that.
Oh, there's opportunities for everyone, unfortunately. Mrprove replaces the exchanges using private prover tech. So exchange replacement. Okay, interesting. Browser extension, that gave us another piece of what form factor this could be. So there's a token and there's a platform. That's what I understand so far with this. Yep. Buyers and sellers install browser extension, which issue proofs. Buyers, and I'm not going to read all the details, but y'all can read it and put in the AI and get all the information about it. And then talks about the split. And then the other thing that I thought was the most, and we'll go through some interesting things on it. But the thing that struck me is when I was like, was this piece. Let me get to it. I have a feeling that the Mrprove coin will be given away for free to a quote sacrifice set created by people sacrificing the way they prove they believe in their. So I stopped there for a second. I was like, wait. Is it like an airdrop to everyone who already sacrificed? That's my first. I was like,
same thing. And I started looking up that sentence in the old sacrifices to be like, did we sacrifice for believing in the removal of
minimum? I know. And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, removal minimum. No, it's a different sacrifice. I can't wait to see more details when the website goes live, hopefully in 24 hours. So who knows when it's going to go live? Maybe it's weekend sometime, it looks like. But there is, you guessed it, what you wanted, what you asked for, what you need right now. Another Pulsechain
sacrifice. Yes.
Woo! Can I get a konnichiwa for another sacrifice? Let's get
konnichiwa. It's just what people were hoping for, Max, right before Christmas is a nice big sacrifice.
Whew. That had me. I was like, oh man. I was like, everybody's already broke. What are they going to sacrifice? But then, I'm trying not to get ahead of it because I know there's a lot of details in this stuff, and I want you to get your reaction too. But then I thought, well, what if you could sacrifice, like, I don't know, actually, I don't have a great idea around that. It says now. I'll tell you what my first thought was, though, around it was like, okay, well, it can't just be you're going to sacrifice anything that isn't the core coins, because he knows everyone, quote, everyone is broke, tired of sacrifices, don't want to do this stuff. So it's got to be another lock up the funds to basically burn them if you think that the entity receiving is never going to use them. It's got to be that kind of play. But anyways, I'll stop there. I said a bunch of stuff. What do you think?
I'm in agreement with you that if said sacrifice accepts core tokens, more specifically, if it accepts only core tokens, meaning that if you didn't have them, you would have to buy them. I would see that as overall bullish. The reverse of that is if the sacrifice only accepted, USDC or something, and you had to sell core tokens, that would be bearish. I'm tending towards the bullish result being much more likely. And like you said, like past performance, OA account has not sold sacrificed core tokens. So I'm thinking the same thing could happen again. Tokens removed from the market. Surely this wouldn't be as big as previous sacrifices from at this point in the market, unless there's one way where that could change. If the core tokens were to pump, and I mean seriously pump, I think you would see, you could even see a larger sacrifice than like the $1 billion that went to PulseX. Because when, if there was a 10x plus on core tokens, people would feel pretty rich. They would forget all the sad times with red candles because people don't have long memories for stuff like that when the green candles come. And you might see a fair amount sacrificed in core tokens.
Yeah, I think the whole sentiment of, I'll never do another sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice because it's like, the first instinct is like, oh yeah, I don't want to do another sacrifice. But then
100%.
Bro, but it's Richard. Like, I think, you either think he's stupid and reckless or you think he's smart and strategic. Like, it ain't going to be, I don't know how long you have to wait for price appreciation, all that stuff, but I don't think it's going to be the same deal as the last time. And I think ecosystem of believers, it's definitely going to be, I don't know. I feel like there's some game theory around people trying to learn from the last time and then learning the wrong lesson or learning not the right strategy going forward. Who knows? But I think there's definitely a lot of, I don't know. I think there's more to it than just, not another sack thing. Like, this is, especially if you believe we're going into a bull market. If you think otherwise, then maybe there's different strategies. But like, if you think you're running the bull market, there's sacrifice coming up. I think, your point's about if you have to buy the core coins to get into it, and you don't. So that is two things. One, people who don't have the core coins that they would want to sacrifice would have to buy them, acquire them, and then sacrifice it. And then the people who already have the coins don't have to buy them. So the whole I'm broke thing, doesn't it's like, well, you can, if you want to part with some of your core coins for this Mrprove thing, then you can. So it kind of satisfies both of them if that's indeed the way that it's set up.
What if there's the core coins are allocated 10,000 times more points than other coins? Like, you could put in $1 in stables for 1 point, or you could put in $1 in hex for 10,000 points. I could see that being popular.
God. All right.
10,000 points X.
Man, the sacrifice stuff really generated. It got so many people excited and buzzing and doing all this, all the game theory analysis and all the what's going to happen. And it just creates a lot more speculation around this stuff too, and around a real event that we know that's going to happen, right? Like, it's not like they're going to, And funny enough, like, and if you're out there, if you're, you're like, oh no, but SEC thing with sacrifice before. Do you think Richard's like, he's not? You think his lawyers, whatever, like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do it again. Like, do you think he'd be going against that kind of thing? It's probably like, hey, I've already did it. You've already approved it. So we're good. Like, it's more likely that.
I was pretty surprised that was the case. Like that he pushed this like another sacrifice. If we're reading it correctly, like maybe we're missing something. And that another twist is, Richard changes his mind and there's no sacrifice, tomorrow or something like that. There's just an airdrop to previous sacrificers or to holders of core tokens that, would kind of be a funny joke for some people. But you know, I'm sure he's covered his bases, you know, dotted his I's, crossed his T's with the legal team before he would release something like this, even in jest. So, yeah, if you know, if he does it, I'm sure he's legally gold on this one. One question I think is interesting that you know is not detailed here is if there was a sacrifice, how long would the sacrifice be? Like a 1 month sacrifice, a 1 week sacrifice, or like a 1 year sacrifice, right? All of which with different implications. People, of course, should have no expectations, but they would have very different expectations depending on that number.
Would there be whale bonuses? Would there be, yeah, the length? Like, I wonder what
The
lesson
whale
learned from the
bonuses,
previous
yeah, another
ones.
point of contention in
Yeah.
previous sacrifices.
Yeah, and it may have, he may go with, oh, you know what, that worked, that if whatever he's thinking that gets the most people in, the most amount of money in, whatever. Again, this is, I don't think of it as, oh, Richard needs money, so he's like, I here to like get more money from us. I suspect that it's going to be that the core coins are going to be heavily incentivized, like you mentioned, like you get more points or whatever, or it's going to be only them, or it's kind of open to anything, and this majority gets there. And again, based on historically speaking, it's kind of like you're burning them, right? Like why would founders sell the coins that he likes? Why when he's already rich, retired, all this stuff. So I think there's plenty of concerns that get brought up that could easily have an optimistic framing for, like, that's not something that I would worry about because of this or that.
And I think people are going to react differently over time, right? Like we're seeing a lot of shock and awe today, and some of the people who are sad today might be happy tomorrow, and vice versa. You know, as people come to terms with like, okay, what does this really mean? A lot of people don't understand what the proposed protocol does, which I think is scary for the ones who don't. So maybe we can go over that at some point today as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're here for the tech and the price performance for sure, for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, I just want to say, just wrap up on the legality and SEC and stuff, all that. I think that, but two things in it that I could imagine are in the favor of RH and still being public and launching stuff and sacrifice all that. One is, of course, hey, you could be like, hey, already tried to, you know, I'm not even streaming. You have much less material to even try to get me on something now. Like, I've been silent for the last 2 years. Hey, now it's really going to pay off because I ain't got nothing, that kind of thing. So already got the regulatory clarity type angle of that. Already haven't gone through it. Already got it cleared. Already nothing, no merit, all that stuff. And then routing the administration being so pro crypto and having SEC pro crypto, not having these frivolous cases and these sham cases and stuff they go after people with. And there's two major pieces that could, and again, I'm sure he ran it by the lawyers and they're like, yeah, it sounds fine. Yeah. So I could see that. But the tech, fast Abdoul, the tech, what the heck is Mrprove? What is it meant to do? Some pretty bold statements in here. Amplifies the blockchain and transcends it. Let's go.
Well, like at its core, it has like an OTC, like over-the-counter exchange function. And when I first glanced, at what he'd written, that was like, oh, it's like, oh, he's going to launch an OTC. That's not new. We have that already on Pulsechain. It's many other places. But when you read into it and look at all the implications that he's built into, it's much more than that. So it's like an over-the-counter exchange that will also magically perhaps work as a privacy bridge to Pulsechain. And he talks about privacy in there and things like that. So there's like a really good peer-to-peer, very simple, safe privacy bridge to Pulsechain built right into it. He talks about real world assets, basically, like people buying and selling tickets, websites, all kinds of stuff that we could have online. And obviously he has like some plans. I don't know the mechanics of all this are going to work, but like there's plans to be able to move directly from fiat currency, right? Like cash from your bank account directly into crypto. Obviously Pulsechain would be one of the options. I'm pretty sure we're looking at a multi-chain product here. It would pretty much have to be to work well. I can't remember if he mentions multi-chain or not, but seems very logical that would be the case. Like it could be expanded into things that are going to be more and more important to the world, to businesses. Things like proving that somebody is not AI could be verified on this platform, right? Which is going to be huge. Like, am I hiring a real person or am I hiring AI? And if Mrprove was part of that equation somehow, that could be interesting. Like that could be $1 billion industry 2 years from now. things like that could be part of this platform. There's other people who have done similar things, but I don't think anybody's done it as well as he proposes right here. So like, yeah, OTC exchange, good, but like the future technology stuff that probably all won't be available on day one of the launch, whenever that is what could make this great.
Yeah, and here, Mrprove and private prover tech. So Mrprove, think of that as a token, private prover, like the contracts, like the protocol type thing. Tech amplifies blockchain's utility by removing middlemen that make crypto so hard. Then it can disrupt and disintermediate so many other industries. Every use of the protocol, if you like the tokenomics part, every use of protocol creating more and more scarcity, buying and burning from the public market. Mrprove, a token that can never inflate, only become more scarce. So you got the tokenomics, you got the buy and burn, you got the deflationary. Went full into that, looks like. And the protocol itself, again, what is the problem? I did, had the AI crunch some data on this as well. I think it came up with like the closest competitor is it's called BISC, BISQ.
Well known.
Yeah, so this is a like decentralized peer-to-peer Bitcoin exchange. And so it's buy and sell Bitcoin for fiat, other cryptocurrency privately and securely using BISC peer-to-peer network and open source desktop registration, no registration required. So this is where it's like, what are the competitors? Like, what is already out there? Is anything that even close to this? They may use different tech and stuff. But this is the only one come up with. So just give people an idea of like what this would look like, what kind of platform it would be, how would it do that? Maybe even more decentralized, maybe even more private using ZK proofs and all the different new privacy tech coming out that Richard's talked about so many times. And that could be on Pulsechain. Again, it could be on multi-chains. But I guess the question too is, okay, this is solving a privacy thing. This is kind of like this is a privacy protocol, let people move money. They have scarce tokenomics. To you, which one, like, how does this onboard people? How does this get people excited about? Is it literally like, okay, there's this token by, Richard Hart, whether you like him or don't, whatever, like he's it's a big name behind a token type thing. He's a founder like that. And then deflate, you look at the tokenomics. Is that kind of good? You think that's going to fuel people even outside of Pulsechain who are like, whoa, this is just like a cool thing to speculate on. This is a bet that people, I guess Pulsechain is going to be made. That's what I don't know too. How is it tied into Pulsechain? Does Pulsechain success make it better? I know there's a volume issue and stuff like that too, but does it bring people?
Let's look at the particulars though, right? Like of a token that we know gets bought and burnt by the protocol, but we also have like a strong implication. This protocol is going to be multi-chain. So does that mean that token will exist on other chains? Like, is this going to accept 20 chains, and each of those chains will have a bridge version, not a new version of this token? So your supply on any given chain is divided by 20 with thinner liquidity on each. Is that good? Is it bad? Like that's just a possibility. But like if there's any sort of utility for staking it, which he hasn't mentioned yet, but could still be on the table, it's hard to say. But like it sounds like it's probably just a token that gets bought and burnt. But like if this thing gets used on multiple chains and bought and burnt on multiple chains, there'll be a huge amount of transactions that will all lead back to Pulsechain, which I think would be overall bullish. And the concept of like, okay, it will take so many transactions to make it, do volume. Well, like as far as I know, like the privacy function we're talking about here is something Richard's really interested in. Even if Richard was the only user for the full first month and he moved everything he had through that one time by conventional standards, it would be considered a great success.
Yeah, I'm thinking, say, on the platform side, like you talked about, how do you think it'll be used to get people, onto Pulsechain? Like, is it the on-ramp?
Like he's going after centralized exchanges. He's replacing centralized exchanges with a decentralized product where like you have ETH on Ethereum and you want ETH on Pulsechain, right? Like, okay, I put up ETH on Pulsechain, we swap. Now you're on Pulsechain, right? No centralized exchange, no slippage, right? And a very, very small fee. And no bridge. Like there's no single point of error where it's like, oh, you want to get onto Pulsechain, you have to go through this one thing that's slow. Be like, this is as fast as me clicking the button and you clicking the button, right? And there will be like there'll be an order book probably, right? So if there's 1,000 people that put up ETH on Ethereum for ETH on Pulsechain, or some other value, then I can just go in. I'd be able, and they've already clicked the button. I'd be able to go in and click my button, and it's the speed of a transaction on Pulsechain could be the settlement speed for me to make that swap, right? I get ETH on one chain, you get ETH on the other, or whatever tokens we decide to swap. But like he mentions right in there fiat currency, right? So it could be people bridging onto Pulsechain more or less via this format. Oh, you want cash in this country? I want crypto in this country. Like, okay, let's make that happen. Like, you bypass centralized exchanges, you largely bypass banks, which they may not be super into, but I suspect they might be out of the loop on being able to do something about it. Like, this attacks multiple financial industries with a superior product potentially.
Yeah, I mean,
No
it's
middleman. You keep saying that, no middleman, right? So no middleman, huge savings, no slippage. Like, yeah, we're taking the middleman out of the process.
Got some people in the chat and questions too about how to what does that look like for, because now you can use a decentralized exchange, but you still got to get the money from the bank account on there via some kind of fiat on ramp. If this completely gets rid of that, I mean, is it literally like, is this like a change now thing, but like there's no KYC? Like, how do you deposit money, real money, dollars into crypto using this?
I think that we'd have to go country by country, sometimes state by state. But like in Canada, for example, and I'm sure there's similar things other places, we have something called e-transfer, where I can send money from a bank account to any email and any phone number, and that money gets delivered immediately, right? So what if this thing, when I put in my order, it generated a phone number or an email that I would send to, and then my transaction would get fulfilled, and there was obviously a mechanism in place to accept the transaction on the other side, and then and then to send it back perhaps via the same method. So if both customers were Canadian, I put up $3,000. I want $3,000 worth of Pulse. The other guy puts up $3,000 worth of Pulse, right? He gets he gets the $3,000. I get the Pulse, right? And as long as he's in Canada, he can receive an e-transfer, which then gets sent from this protocol from private prover, which sent him the final result. But that could be one way it would work. But like, we'd have to go country by country. I'm sure it'll be different all the time.
Well,
but even if you could get the US, you're like, that's a great start.
Well, it makes me think of, it kind of reminds me of Liberty Swap, where you send them like you can do like Cash App or Venmo or something. You like send them to whatever address. Yeah, where you basically send money to an address. So you've already KYC, you've already did all that stuff over there, and you just send it to an address. And then with this, it's kind of like, you send it, like you're saying, I guess maybe send it to the contract, some kind of translation there, and then it goes and does the proofs, all that stuff, and then sends the money to your crypto account or someone else or whatever. So browser extension, maybe the browser extension, that's what it helps facilitate that. So is this the fork of MetaMask? They fork MetaMask to like turn it into this kind of thing? Is it going to be part wallet too? Or is it not unrelated?
I don't see a definitive connection, though. Like, that could be, the wallet almost looks small, but beside this, if that was an add-on, that could be a thing. But yeah, I don't see this leading to a wallet directly. Do you?
Well, I think so. If you would imagine let's say there's a wallet. Let's say this is a wallet. Let's say they fork MetaMask and they just add in the prover stuff, because we talked about forking MetaMask before. They add in the prover stuff, and the browser extension is that forked MetaMask, Mrprove or is that. And then whatever you send it to, you like, generate an address or whatever. And then that address corresponds to your new crypto account, like your new wallet that's generated. So it's kind of like it's a wallet, but you don't really use it. It's not like
a one-time use wallet for every transaction.
Yeah, there's some kind of privacy angle where it's like, okay, you use it, but it's with price. So it's kind of like something between Liberty Swap and a wallet, but with like privacy first type of thing. And who knows when Liberty Swap will do privacy? They may add that into their platform as well. But this is like a decentralized privacy, maybe some sort of temporary wallet type thing. It could be, just thinking about it.
That could be cool. I would prefer it not be a standalone wallet where like in order to use this, you must have the RH wallet. It'd be better if like anybody with any, self-custody wallet could use the product. I think that we get a lot more uptake than forcing people to download a new crypto wallet.
Interesting. I'm trying to think. That's why I was asked you earlier too about how does this bring people in to speculate on the token, which then gets them on Pulsechain, and then the platform becomes more successful because people basically are like super aligned to support privacy protocol because they can make money on privacy protocol. Is that the angle? The angle is like, here's how to make money on privacy protocol, and this is how we popularize privacy and get that to be the game changer, and you can only find on Pulsechain.
I think it's a combination of of like providing true utility that will get like commercial uptake. Like a lot of the applications he's talked about are like commercial applications. Like it's like companies that could be using these things and like possibly thousands of times a day. And then there's another angle of screw the man. We don't need a middleman. People can just deal with each other without every meeting in person or having to trust each other. And not go through banks, not go through middlemen. So there'll probably be two sides to tech. One's like a cyberpunk side, and one's a business side. Could be, which interesting combo, but like it could be huge.
Yeah, and just for people out there too, it's like what is this? What's the difference in this and a DEX? What's the difference in this and that? And I'm sure maybe at some point we'll have all the information and charts and showing how is this different than this thing? And
Yep.
but it's like, yeah, this is crypto to fiat, right? This is a way to do crypto to fiat, decentralized private way. Like that is the point, right?
It could be more than that. Like it could be a way to transfer ownership of real estate or healthcare data or other things like that you want to be secure, right? Like for a specific thing for a specific thing, and that thing could even just be a token. Like the guy who receives this must have this specific NFT that proves he owns it, right? And the thing he's receiving could be a confidential piece of data. The thing he's receiving could be the deed to a property, right? Like there's definitive real world applications that could be worked into this and built on top of, right? So like I think obviously we need more details. I'm not going to deploy any devs today, except for, as I mentioned earlier, with the vault being a multi-collateral upgradable fork. Perhaps the Mrprove token could be collateralized as a stablecoin. But that aside, I think people will build on top of this.
Wow. Well, I know everyone's like, what do we how do I think about it? I think I'm still kind of digesting it too. Especially on the tech side, we're going to have a ton of content, a ton of people talking about this coming up. So don't worry, everyone. We're all going to make more sense about it. Yeah. Try to get to as many questions in the chat as we can, but
I'm sure Richard's going to drop a lot more. Did you see his most recent tweet that he did about it? Did we go through that already?
The most recent. That was
he provided
logo.
some use cases.
Was that I saw the logo one. Let's see. By the way, follower number go up too. Follower number go up, everyone. Look at that 5553555. So after the logo, not that one, is it? Oh, I didn't see this one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if your favorite coin had direct fiat on ramp with no middleman? Wouldn't it be cool if you wanted to sell money nearly instantly appear in your bank account? Wouldn't it be cool if you didn't have to bank exchange to list your coin? Wouldn't it be cool if you didn't have to ever log in exchange again? Yes. All those things. That sounds really cool. Crypto was invented to remove middleman, exchange middleman. Mrprove with private proof can solve this and much more. Exchange are basically the worst part of crypto infrastructure experience, and the time for the solution is now. Look forward to seeing more details on the website soon.
He's going after exchanges, man. Like he's swinging big, right? It's it's lofty, but
let's go.
When you're a billionaire, maybe you could pull something like this off, and it could be game changing.
Maybe some ZK ropes or optimism. Yeah, I think the tech. We're gonna have to dig into the tech. So I'm sure the website's gonna have more about the tech.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so much more information. We really don't. We're making many assumptions here. We don't have very much information.
Decentralized collectors, yeah.
Sure.
Amazing. I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be like this general privacy protocol, but one of the game-changing features is the fiat to crypto, and yeah, this is groundbreaking stuff. I think, if it's everything that he says it is, and all that stuff, and why wouldn't it be? Man, this is a solution. It's not just we hope the token goes up. Of course, there's a platform that you can use, but this is something's like, okay, instead of having to get everyone to jump through all these hoops and buy ETH first and bridge it over, and LibertySwaps did a great job, and Hyperlane and all this stuff too. They're trying to get people, make it easier to on ramp people. If this problem is actually solved, I mean, how easy is it to be like, go to mrtoken.com or whatever, whatever your link's going to be, and that's all. And just 3 clicks, send Vel. You got Venmo, you got Zelle, you got Cash App, you got whatever, you got crypto. Like, let's go, man.
Totally. I just did an interesting search on AI to just to get a feel for some of these things. Like, we were talking about all these different industries. I don't really understand. So I said, like, of all these use cases, and I had a list of use cases for Mrprove, which ones are worth the most money, and ordered this list by money. Number 1 is supply chain and trade finance, 30 trillion a year. It's 30 trillion. Okay. And real world is real estate and RWA transfers, 300 trillion globally. Insurance claims, 7 trillion. Payment and remittance, 800 billion. Identity and KYC, 1.2 trillion. Like, nothing is under $1 billion on this list. And many things seem to be over $1 trillion. So like a small portion of these that move into something like this would set the whole system on fire.
Wow. And just wanted to bring up this tweet from Exos. Well, everyone cries about the new SAC. Let's remember what happened the last time Sacrifice was announced. Hex went from
that was terrible
to 56 cents in 6 months. 6 more months, everyone. That's what I heard. 6 more months. Wow. That would be cool if we see some massive price appreciation. Again, the compounding bullish stuff that you can imagine, and we don't know if it's going to come true, but boy, there's a lot of great imagining you could do with an optimistic framing of what the thing is that Genius Billionaire Founder guy seems to be talking
I don't
about.
think we're looking at 6 months though. Like, based on recent events, like Richard, like think of the last thing that was maybe not launched by Richard. I don't think he's definitively said it's his, but I associate with him as Pump.tires. He just pointed at it and said, "Hey guys, look at this." It was just that magically there one day. He's talked about having a website for what we're talking about now. If I had to guess, I'd say this is complete or almost complete. We're not looking at a 2-year sacrifice wait and see period. I could be wrong. There's no financial advice, but it could be out in a week. Like, maybe the sacrifice period is like next weekend for all we know.
Let's go just in time for the holidays.
Like, he needs
on board your friends and family and Mrprove. I can't wait to explain Mrprove during Thanksgiving.
Indeed. Well, remember I talked about Hex. Yeah, that's great. But like, he just ran a contest for a logo, and he gave a timeline of 6 hours for the contest.
Oh wow!
Why would you do that? Why? Like, wouldn't you get better results with more than 6 hours? I think it means that, like, he's ready.
He's ready. We're all ready too.
That's my guess. But like if you want to run a contest for a logo, why would you make it 6 hours? Right? You could make it a week. You could make it a month. But like, he chose 6 hours. Meaning, I need it now, guys. Get this to me. He crowdsourced, almost an emergency request for a logo.
Maybe it's time to go up. I'd like so. Pulsechain stats. So can we get a Richard Hart stream now to explain the new project, right, guys?
That'd be great. He can have my
spot. A cool reason to do it. So it doesn't need to take your spot. He can be number 3. He can be at the bottom.
Great. Yeah.
Be good.
Yeah.
I did a what do you think of this? Let's see. Did you know that we're going to have a 5th core Pulsechain token?
There you go. All it needs is its own liquidity fork now. I'm on it.
Fasto was like, I already got it. Devs are on it. Mrprove, take a loan on your Mrprove.
Indeed. There'd be other requirements, like certain levels of liquidity and other things, so people don't get wrecked. But Yeah, I suspect it will work out.
I haven't looked at these comments yet, but hopefully there's some funny ones. Couldn't this be a new front end for PulseX? It's a utility that makes Pulsechain URL useful. Yeah, I mean, that's what. Yeah, I think I've talked about that before, where the privacy protocols could be, they add a new widget or a new section to PulseX to be like, hey, you want to get in a PulseX trade? Click this button. Send the Venmo thing, and we're good. Could be.
A lot of people, like I've seen, and I've responded to some on Twitter, but like some people who I feel don't understand, are worried that this is replacing PulseX and all the PulseX holders are screwed. I don't think anything could be further from the truth. That this at worst case is neutral. I think it's bullish for like PulseX, Pulse, all core tokens are going to have more, just more volume and more uses and easier in and out. So yeah, it's not going to hurt your PulseX bags, in my opinion.
Everything that Richard has made has complemented the previous products. Right? Pulsechain, it makes hex easier and faster and cheaper and all that. PulseX, great place for liquidity and trade hex and all this stuff. Pump tires, well, I'm not saying it launched pump tires. Who knows? Maybe did, maybe didn't. But it launched and seems to be helpful with Pulsechain. Yeah. And PulseX, it can help that too. So,
and marketing tablets. Don't forget marketing tablets. That helps.
Marketing tablets. Yeah. Marketing tablets. They help. They say, hello, buy pressure. Hello. Welcome, buy pressure. Here we go. Wow, this is how Hex 52 cents is the incentive I was waiting for. Now I'm extremely bullish. Let's go. Let's go. This is, what do you think about the sacrifice phase? By the way, that was a question. Rinse, repeat, new shiny object. You know what? Fast, if we just do sacrifices for the next 20 years and, and some entity who never sells the coins keeps stacking up all of our favorite tokens to keep them away from sell pressure, it ain't such a bad deal.
20 years from now, there'll only be 1 or 2 Pulse left. There'll be a huge commodity.
Be fighting over, instead of the price, like the price of Pulse people will normally buy is the price of what Pulse is now. You'll only be able to buy 3 zeros and a 297 or something.
I think it's important that people understand, like, and this should be indicative of any sacrifice or thing like this, but it's okay to sit this out. And like the emotions you're having, Richard expects you to have them probably. So like if you're angry, you don't want to do this, just remain calm. So you're making rational. If you're mad today, if you're sad today, if you're happy today, wait until tomorrow, right? Nothing is happening right now. And you don't have to participate in this. But it could be bullish for you if other people participated, even if you don't, if you're holding core tokens. That's my suspicion, not financial advice. But like, stay chill, guys. This is not a worst case scenario. I think this is neutral. Best case scenario could be freaking huge. I don't say freaking very often.
It's true. That was some passion, optimistic passion in that voice. Yeah, it's you don't have to participate. I don't think it's going to. I don't suspect this is going to make your bags go down. So if you participate, could be amazing. If you don't participate, still could be good for you. I hope so. I wish you the maddest of gains. But yeah, it's. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of. I don't know. I feel over time I keep thinking, well, do I just think differently than your average Pulsechain community member, where I just roll with it. I'm just like, you know what? Glory's coming. Let's just go. Let's just keep going. No, let's go. Let's go. I don't know. The believer mindset. There you go. That's what it is. I think it's the believer mindset. The very not easy to quit mindset. Not easy to get distracted with 17,000 meme coin and Solana type deal. Again, I'm sure there's plenty of smart people who don't like these sacrifices and don't want to do them and are fed up with Richard and all that stuff too. But in general, it's a mindset. I think that
I think moderation is often a good choice. Like if this happened tomorrow, and and I had time to research it, like my choice may be maybe I'll sacrifice some for this, but not all. That could be a reasonable choice, and certainly could be better than all in one way or the other. At least it could help you sleep better at night one way or another as well.
Wrap up here in just a few minutes, but I want to get to one more question, just one more. How does this help Pulsechain now, though? I think onboarding. I think maybe volume. I think game-changing feature nobody else has. It helps everyone onboard easier, like everyone who's already in, and it's like it solves a problem. Like what else? What else do you think?
right now, like pre-launch, I think what it is a news item. People are going to be talking about it, and not just us. Like I'm not actually going to be talking about this. Many people are going to be talking about it, not always positively, but it's going to bring a lot of attention. Richard Hart, the guy who beat the SEC, is doing another sacrifice. Like the guy who just moved, whatever, $750 million worth of ETH is doing another sacrifice because he needs more. Like there'll be all the negative things and positive things, and positive and negative speculation will bring a lot of attention to Richard Hart and to Pulsechain. And I suspect he understands that and has a plan based around that attention.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the different, this is some different perspectives and people are going to talk about and stuff too. But I'm excited to see everyone talking about the game theory going forward. I'm sure there'll be some good conversations. Really just replacing, CXs and making onboarding easier. Like if we're trying to onboard people to Pulsechain, it seems this product, regardless of the privacy feature, which is a huge deal to it too, it's like this could definitely help people privately onboard the Pulsechain and onboard all this stuff too. So there's a lot of good stuff. Don't fade Mrprove. Not just yet. You'll dig into it a little bit.
Indeed.
I mean, tokenomics are great. What's bad about that? I mean, other than like, what's the biggest criticism? The whole sacrifice? I mean,
I think the main thing people are feeling is this is not pumping my bags literally right now, right? So it's like anything that is not today, tomorrow, the next day, that's, like this, there's a lot of exhaustion, like not just on the chain, like in the industry in general, and not just in crypto, right? In finances in general. So people are tired. They're looking for a win. This wasn't the win they wanted today, right now, this second, even though it could be in the future, maybe short future, maybe long future. So there's some anxiety there. And again, people not understanding what does this mean, right? Like there's just Richard's write-up is a little bit dense and not everybody probably got through that. So I think over time, like his more recent post provided much more clarity in an easier to understand way with less of a block of words. It would be ideal if he would stream about it and explain it to us. That'd be fantastic. But like a website with more details will allow people like you and me to stream about it and explain it on different levels to different people as well. Right? We need to have the white paper to be able to know what we're talking about. So once people understand, they won't be scared, because that's the main basis of fear, is usually lack of understanding. And once they know it's like good, bad, neutral, then they can decide how to feel. But right now, that fear is causing bad feelings in some people.
Everyone, if you're actually interested in understanding more and trying to have a optimistic, interesting, or optimistic and positive view of it, just take the URL, take the little URL, or copy and paste the whole text, put that into an AI and start asking the questions. Riff with it. Take 10 minutes. 10 minutes, just riff. Be like, hey, is this bullish for Pulsechain? Hey, how would this actually happen? Hey, what does this mean for the other core tokens? Hey, explain the tokenomics. Like, give it a chance. If you really want to understand it, we have the tools today. We didn't used to have the tools. We got the tools. You can do it in 10 minutes.
AI is fantastic. I don't even actually know what Pulsechain is. I'm reading off a screen right now. Everything I'm saying is a script read to me by AI, and most people think I'm smart.
I'm not even real. I'm actually a robot. I am AI.
Exactly. So. AI is fantastic. Look at the quality here.
Fantastic quality. All right, I said last question, but this guy's name is 10,000X. So, how could it be bullish if we are in bear market? Is it, first thing that struck me is he doesn't care about all season. He cares about Pulsechain season. What do you think, Fast?
Indeed. Yep. So the Pulsechain may be not in a bear market when everything else is in a bear market. That's sort of, Richard's implied that. Like, I'm not gonna quote him because he curses, but he doesn't care about other people's bull runs. He cares about our bull run. Is basically what he said in the past.
IDGAF, that the phrase about the alt season. I care about air season, which
that was the one.
Yeah. Well, everyone,
I had to look it up.
Enjoy your. This is, they don't get to do emergency Pulsechain live streams too often, but I thought this was worthy of it. And hey, we packed in about 45 minutes. We packed a lot of information. So take some time, digest it. Hopefully this leads us to mad gains. I don't know why it would do anything other than that, but that's what I believe. So Fast Abdoul, second stream of the day. I'm tired. You're probably tired. Thanks for hopping on again. Good to see you, man. And we shall talk again.
Thanks, Max. Thanks for doing the stream. I think it's really important that guys like you step up and stream multiple times in one day when there's important thing that's happening. People don't understand that like that you also have to absorb the data. You also may have emotions. You also probably have a life outside of being on the screen, and you're taking your time and energy, because there is an energy commitment here to make this happen. So thank you, Max.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Those are pretty fair assumptions. It does take energy, take time. Have you heard about, anybody want to ask me about the Pulsechain? Ask me about Pulsechain. Ask me about the Pulsechain. Nice. New swag.
Nice.
Local, you may get one in a local meetup sometime. Local, when we're partying because 10,000x happened. You're going to want to answer some questions about Pulsechain, about how amazing it is and how, see, told you. Hopefully we're all right. We're all very, very right in the future. All right, everyone. So what we got for you today, we're doing rockets up on the way out. Scivive and 5555. Have a good weekend. Bye.